we're going to need some black poster board or foam core. A black sheet would work, anything to use as a background, a flashlight or some type of focused light source, clamps if you're going to clamp it to a light stand like I did, and some products to photograph. Now you can also, if you don't have a light stand, you can tape your poster board or your foam core to the wall and use it like that. This is my cell phone stand that I'm using to take the pictures because we got to hold the phone in the same place. So we're going to place the product right in the center of the poster board there, and we want our beam of light to be focused only on the product and not on the actual poster board itself. Now that we have our setup where we want it to be for our scene, we got the light adjusted, we got our product where we want it to be, we're going to get our phone set up. So I've got my little tripod here, and it's sitting on a TV tray, which is just out of frame, just so that I could get the phone lower, because you want the angle of the lens to pretty much be dead on to the product. We don't want it to be above it or below it. We want it to be pretty much dead on, straightforward. So if you have to do this on the floor, you may want to put your product on something that's taller so that you can get your angle correct. But I'm using a TV tray and I'm using a table, so this is my setup. Okay, first thing we're going to do is we're going to open up our camera app. And if you have a Samsung, 2 clicks on the power button will open up the camera app automatically. So now that we're in here, you can see that the screen's flickering a little bit. That's just because of the refresh rate. I apologize for that. But so you can see that this is the regular camera app, and it's exposing for the background, and you can see the product itself is blown out. That's not what we want. So you're going to need to go into Pro mode or Advanced mode. It may be different depending on which phone you have, and your phone may not even have an Advanced mode or Pro mode that enables you to use manual controls for shutter speed. And if your phone does not have these features where you can enable manual shutter speed, I will link in the description below where you can find an app that allows you to enable manual control on your phone. So you can see that it's exposing for everything, and if we were to take a picture right now, it wouldn't look good at all. So the first thing we're going to do is, if you have a Samsung, you'll go to More, Pro. See? Now you can see now I've already adjusted the shutter speed, so let's adjust the shutter speed to bring it back up where it was. So it looked like that, and this shutter button right here is the second from the bottom, just above ISO, and you can see that it allows us to brighten or darken the image, essentially. And you can see also that the very edges of the backdrop are just out of frame. So we want to enlarge this so that the edges of the backdrop are out of the frame. And we want the product to be pretty much in the center of the frame. That looks good. You can see that we have some shadows and there's light spilling onto the backdrop. That's okay, it won't matter. We'll be able to totally get rid of that by adjusting the shutter speed. And also, if even after you adjust the shutter speed to expose for the product, and there still is some light spillage under the backdrop that is visible in the picture, that's okay. We can remove that in post. So now we're going to go into our shutter speed, second one from the bottom. And we're going to adjust it to a higher number. Right now we're 1/50. Now we're 1/125. I think that looks good right there. It may look a little dark on the camera, but we will be able to brighten it up in post. We just want to make sure that the background is washed out in darkness. Okay, now that we have that done, we can make sure that our product is in focus. Okay. Now we can start taking pictures. Now, this is where I'm going to start my stop motion tutorial as well. And if you're here only to learn how to take the pictures and edit them, I will put a timestamp in the description below so that you can skip forward to the editing process. But if you're here for the stop motion, this is where we're going to begin the stop motion tutorial. Make sure that you don't move the phone or the tripod, because that will adjust our composition and we'll have to start over. And we want to make sure that our product stays right where it is, except for the motion that we want to introduce. So I'm going to turn the product slightly because I want a spinning effect. And then I'm going to take another picture. Then I'm going to turn the product again. Take another picture. Then I'm going to turn the product again. I'm going to do this over and over until I've got a few rotations in. And you'll probably end up with at least 100 pictures if you want smooth motion and you're only doing a rotation, a single rotation, or maybe a double rotation. You'll end up with at least 60 to 100 pictures. If you go faster than that, if you make bigger motions with the product, the video will appear choppier because it'll be playing at essentially a slower frame rate. So we want a slightly higher frame rate for smooth motion. So I'm going to go ahead and speed the video up now and keep taking pictures. Okay, so the first thing to do is plug your phone into your computer, and this is a Windows computer, obviously. So open up Fire Explorer, go to this PC, in the Galaxy S10 or whatever your phone is will be there. Double click it, double click the drive, go to DCIM, double click that, double click camera, then your photos should be in here. So select the first one, hold shift, select the last one, Control C to copy. Open up a new folder on your desktop, name it, I'm going to call it product. Open it up, Control V to paste. Okay, open up Lightroom, File, Import Photos and Video. Go to your local disk, Users, your name, Desktop, Product. Double click, all of them are selected, click Import. Now if you're doing basic photography, I'm going to show you how I do my edits, and I will show you how to edit all of these at once. So the first thing we're going to do is double click this, and we're going to go to the Develop tab, Basic. I'm going to make it black and white because I think black and white is really classy for these types of photos, and I really think it makes the product shine a lot more. I'm going to go down to Detail. I'm going to first bring up the sharpening a little bit just to add a little bit more pop to it. Then I'm going to go to Texture, add a little bit of texture, a little bit of clarity, and a little bit of dehaze. And then I'm going to raise the whites, bring down the blacks a tad, bring down the shadows a tad, and bring up the highlights. I think that looks good. A little more contrast. Okay, I like that. I think that's a pretty decent edit. Go to Develop in the top left. Go to New Preset. I'm going to type in Product, Create, Replace. Because I already had one called Product, but I replaced it. So anyway, go back to the library. Hit Escape to go back to the main view. Select the second photo. Hold Shift, select the last photo, go to the Quick Develop tab on the right, Default Settings, User Presets, Product. Now it's going to apply that same edit to every photo that we took in the stop motion sequence. Now go look at all of them, make sure all of them have finished being edited. Okay. Now that that's done, go to File, Export, Specific Folder, Desktop. I'm going to create a folder called Export. Select Folder, Export. Now we're done. Your folder of photos is ready to be imported into a Premiere timeline or a DaVinci timeline to be turned into a stop motion video sequence. I hope you guys like this tutorial. If you like this tutorial, please give it a thumbs up. Tell me what you think in the comments below. I really appreciate it. And also I linked where you can find the tripod, the phone holder, and the app for the camera. And I really appreciate the views, guys. Thanks for keep coming back. And please give it a thumbs up, like I said, and don't forget to share the video. Really appreciate it. I'll see you guys next week. This is the Bearded Techie. I am signing out.